Now, since 2006, the St. Bernard Project has been building energy-efficient homes in areas devastated by Hurricane Katrina. Now, we're pleased to announce their new partnership focusing on recruiting veterans to work as full-time employees on its build sites. JROTC and City Year are partnering in Boston through City Year's City Heroes program that engages high schoolers in at least 100 hours of voluntary community service, centered around City Heroes service days throughout the year. Now, with this partnership, City Year is recruiting directly from the population of JROTC cadets and reserves a certain number of City Heroes slots for the cadets, which is good news.
Finally, Student Veterans of America and the Wounded Warrior Project are working together around the country to help wounded and injured veterans achieve a college education. Our deepest thank you to the 10 organizations that we mentioned here, the hundreds represented in the room, and the thousands working around the country for our veterans. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Let me start by saying thank you to Give an Hour and to Service Nation for giving me the opportunity to present today. It is truly an honor. It is also truly a necessity in the wake of last week's tragedy at Fort Hood. I know all of our hearts go out to the victims of the shootings and their families and the whole Fort Hood community. I am glad there are organizations like Give an Hour to assist in Texas and across the country. Give an Hour is a nonprofit organization providing free counseling and other mental health care services to members of the military, veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan, and their loved ones. Without Give an Hour, I would not be here today. My name is Jennifer Crane. I am a combat veteran of the United States Army. At only 26 years old, most people don't look at me and see a war veteran. By standing here today, I am proof that war veterans come in all shapes, sizes, ages, races, and sexes. At the tender age of 17, I joined the military seeking guidance and stability in an unstable world. It was the first adult decision I ever made in my life. It would be an understatement to say that I got more than I asked for. My first day of basic training was September 11th, 2001. I was sitting with a platoon of strangers when the towers fell that day, and a drill sergeant said we were all going to war, and he was right. Within a year of graduating from training, I was being deployed. I was sent into Afghanistan as a part of Operation Enduring Freedom, 4th Rotation under the 18th Airborne Corps. At just 20 years old, I got my combat patch and the right to call myself a veteran. Now, I watch from the sidelines as my 23-year-old brother is experiencing the repercussions from his deployment to Iraq. It's been over 6 years since I came home from overseas, but the experiences still live inside of me like it was yesterday. I suffer from chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. It took almost 3 years of agony before I began to find help. A large percentage of our homeless population is made up of veterans with mental health issues, and I was one of them. There are hundreds of thousands of people out there just like me suffering and feeling like society has forgotten about them. It was not until I found Give an Hour that I truly began to find hope again. The birth of my daughter in May 2008 left me in pieces, and my PTSD was stronger than ever. But through Give an Hour, I was able to see an amazing counselor, Janine Aversa, who was willing to donate her time to help me, no questions asked. Without Janine, I don't know if I would be standing here today. With her guidance and compassion, I am now on a path greater than I could have ever imagined. I no longer feel broken, but instead I feel whole. I am not trying to fool myself because, yes, every day is a struggle for me. But the generosity of the individuals involved with Give an Hour has given me the faith in society that I so desperately needed. Sometimes just knowing that someone out there cares is all it takes, and that is why I'm here today. I am hoping that my story may inspire someone to reach out and become their own ambassador for change. If you're a healthcare provider, donate your time. We need you. If you're a veteran, service member, or family of military personnel, seek help, and you'll find it through this amazing organization. I am proud to report that as a part of this Service Nation initiative, Give an Hour is finding yet another way to link civilian and military communities in our country to ensure that the critical critical mental health needs of troops, veterans, and military families are met. As one great example, Given Hour will be able to partner with the American Red Cross so that Given Hour mental health professionals can receive additional training and resources on military culture, while Red Cross can both refer people needing services and mental health volunteers will provide them to Given Hour. Given Hour asks that people who receive services through them give back to their own communities. Given Hour has offered me the opportunity to share my story and speak at forums such as this on behalf of them and veterans everywhere as my way of giving back. If my story can touch just one heart and help just one fellow soldier, my mission will be complete. My life will never be quote-unquote perfect, but with the help Given Hour has provided me, I can begin to truly live life again. I'm now married and a fully capable mother of a beautiful 18-month-old daughter, Haley Marie, who's here today. I will never be cured, and I know that, but I can manage my condition, and today I am able to have hope for a better tomorrow. Before closing, I'd like to ask Dr. Barbara Van Dalen to please stand up, the founder and president of Given Hour, to be recognized. We are also very proud to announce the partnerships that have been formed through Service Nation's Mission Serve, and I'd like to ask representatives from our partners to please stand up and be recognized. Big brothers and big sisters. The American Red Cross. Student Veterans of America. AARP, Create the Good. Operation Homefront. And Postpartum Support International. Given Hour is incredibly excited to be working with everyone here. Thank you very much.
2 months ago today, on 9/11, I sent my husband off to Afghanistan for a year. This is his 4th combat deployment in my daughter Sophie's 11 years. In that time, she's attended 7 different schools since her daddy's first deployment. Hers is the life of a military child. She and I are a different kind of veteran for today's wars. We're unspeakably proud of my husband, but there's no hiding that sometimes it's hard. My group, Blue Star Families, and all the groups here are about finding solutions to some of the hard parts of military service. In Blue Star Families, we believe, as Service Nation does, that solutions in a large part come from our own action and from the help of the larger community. Many of you here today have helped us with that, packing our thanks boxes in appreciation to military families around the country. The boxes we packed today have gone to National Guard families in Kansas, to the families of individual augmentees in Virginia, and to North Carolina regulars. The Operation Appreciation letters you've all been writing will go to military families around the country, and including the Shaken community at Fort Hood. The leadership shown by Service Nation has been wonderful. Because of them, many of the groups here have been working together to make more and more of these solutions possible. Here's just a smattering of the partnerships engendered by the leadership of Be the Change. Blue Star Families is partnering with PBS to create family reintegration kits for military families. We packed some of those in those thanks boxes today. We're also connecting Greater DC Cares to the National Guard community in the National Capital Region. Student Veterans of America are joining with Big Brothers and Big Sisters to mentor youth. The American Legion Auxiliary is joining with Operation Homefront for their Adopt a Military Family for the Holidays program. The Sierra Club is joining with National Military Families Association's Operation Purple summer camps to provide a week of fun for military kids who have a parent who has, is, or will be deploying. And they're joining with the Armed Services YMCA to provide a week of camping family reintegration post-deployment. The Military Child Education Coalition and America's Promise Alliance are working together to make sure that military-connected schools and their kids are included in Gallup's current poll of 5th to 12th graders in terms of how their wellness is going. It's terribly fitting that we celebrate those partnerships today on Veterans Day, a day that recognizes Americans, veterans who serve so ceaselessly. I'd like to thank you all for being here today, for caring, and for serving. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jason Lawrence. I graduated from the U.S. Air Force Academy in Euro-NATO Joint Jet pilot training. Following that, I went to serve flying A-10 attack jets with the 25th Fighter Squadron, 51st Fighter Wing in South Korea. Pilsung. I left the Air Force to pursue other forms of service. Recently joined the Veterans Green Corps initiative between Veterans Green Jobs and the Southwest Conservation Corps that empowers veterans to positively impact their lives, their communities, and the environment. Over the summer, I led a team of 8 eco-warriors as we spent 40 days camping, most of them deep in the backcountry in the Colorado Rockies. Funded by the U.S. Forest Service, we hiked over 150 miles, hand-cut over 400 logs, built steps, drainage features, swatted mosquitoes, kicked rocks, all while carrying 60 pounds and as high as 11,000 feet, while transforming mangled, overgrown trails into smooth paths. We went through our own changes as we traveled from military to civilian service. One former Marine sniper on my crew had 6-figure job offers to return to the oil fields. He declined to stay with us. He commented that his post-traumatic stress seemed to fade as if the backcountry had magical powers, in his words. He will start college at Colorado State University in January to study forestry. We were all drawn to the Veterans Green Corps for different reasons: camaraderie, structure, and most importantly, the opportunity to join a new mission of service for our common bonds. Our country faces unparalleled environmental and energy challenges that threaten our security and sustainability. At the same time, 1.8 million veterans are returning home as a highly trained and disciplined workforce in need of meaningful work that embodies the ethic of service that brought many of them into the military. Let's engage these veterans on a new mission of building energy and environmental security at home. And I'm confident through this new mission of service, many veterans will find the place for their experience, their leadership, their sense of honor, and their commitment to America, just as I have with the Veterans Green Corps. Thank you.
Thank you to Jason for his service to you all. It's a privilege to be in the room today honoring your work. As director of the Ohio Civilian Conservation Corps, just a few years back, I had the privilege of working to bring together a partnership, a civilian-military partnership that was the Ohio CCC, the Ohio Emergency Management Agency, and the Ohio National Guard, and it was both the Army and the Air Guard. In that partnership, we had the opportunity for members of the CCC to be deployed when state disasters were announced by the governor, and that was frequent in Ohio with flooding and ice storms. Our Corps members were housed with the Guard, fed with the Guard. The most amazing thing happened in that the Guardsmen were mentors, role models, and amazing friends to our Corps members. Our Corps members were primarily out of work, out of school young people who were getting their lives back in order and engaging in the work. What we saw throughout the year when disasters were not in place, that the Guardsmen and our Corps members remained in touch. We received leadership training and wonderful mentorship year-round from the Guard. So it was with great respect that partnership developed. As president and CEO of the Corps Network, let me come back just a minute because I'm missing one point of that. In late 2008, I received an email message from a young man whose name is Scott Kilbarger. Scott was writing from his duty station in Iraq, and he wrote to say that his experience there had reminded him that he needed to re-engage and help people in Ohio reestablish the Civilian Conservation Corps. It had been abolished when state budget deficits occurred, and he wanted to know how he from Iraq could help reestablish it because of the amazing impact that it had on his life. He joined the Guard while a member of the CCC, married a fellow Corps woman, and actually has a lovely family, is a support of his community, and a wonderful representative of this country in his work in Iraq. As president and CEO of the Corps Network, I have the privilege of serving as a champion for Corps and for the young people enrolled in them across the country, service and conservation corps. They're both traditional AmeriCorps members, as well as young men and women who are getting their lives back in order. It is a time of transition that our young people are engaged in, and we're very, very proud that our corps are engaging young veterans. In addition to recognizing that National Guard CCC partnership, I have the privilege of also asking you to join me in recognizing Habitat for Humanity in their work with wounded warriors in Fort Lewis, Washington, to help build energy-efficient homes for homeless veterans. The Sierra Club is working with Outward Bound to provide free wilderness expeditions for veterans and service members. Veterans Green Jobs has an energy conservation program called HEAT, Home Energy Auditor Training, that teaches home energy surveying and weatherization to military veterans. Veterans Green Jobs in the city of Denver employ homeless veterans to plant and maintain trees as part of Denver's Million Tree Initiative. As we heard from Jason, Veterans Green Corps works with the Southwest Conservation Corps and the Washington Veterans Conservation Corps to engage veterans interested in natural resource management careers. And finally, the Army's Partnership for Youth Success and Service Nation work to provide interviews to veterans who are interested in employment in the civilian service sector. What amazing work. It's a privilege to be here with you all. God bless you.
Hello, everyone. You got to get into the Army spirit this afternoon. I apologize. I'm Major General Stephen Apt. I'm the Deputy Commanding General of the United States Army Accessions Command, which has the responsibility to provide manpower for the Army, both officer and enlisted. What an event this afternoon. It's marvelous. 40 years ago, almost to the day, I was a college student, fat and happy and enjoying life, and a catastrophic event happened. I got drafted into the United States Army. Up to that moment, I never knew what service was. It was all about me. It didn't take long for the gears to grind, and all of a sudden, service becomes something that started to take hold. You know, right now, after 40-some years, my wife would say I perhaps overachieved just a little bit. The point being here is that not everyone grows up and is taught or has this innate ability to serve. And sometimes some of us need a catastrophic event or something or someone to reach out and touch us and see the light, if you may. if you get the opportunity, whether it be civilian or in the Army, please find that individual, grab them by the ear, and help train that one more person, whether they are serving our nation or serving the many wonderful agencies that we have talked about today. Some of us need training. You're the ones that can start that ball to roll. The Army is comprised of 100% of volunteers, 1.1 million members strong. Each individual soldier has his or her own reasons to serve. But collectively, we exist to protect and defend the American principles of freedom, democracy, and liberty. Please remember that there's always a price, and sometimes once they return, we have to be there to receive them and truly help them. The Army has an eye on the future as well and is gravely concerned about the 7 in 10 young Americans who do not qualify to serve in the Army, or whether the reasons be for educational shortcomings, medical and fitness issues, or conduct that we cannot accept within our ranks. We are proactively seeking ways in which the Army can make a difference in the educational communities throughout our nation. Since our last meeting a year ago, the U.S. Army Accessions Command, working with Army Cadet Command, the National Association of School Boards and Education, and the Department of Education, has initiated a pilot program to identify and intervene in troubled school districts where high school graduation rates are well below the national average. We hope to work with some of these dropout centers and their feeder middle schools in the years to come by providing curricula and proven tenets of our Junior Reserve Officer Training Program. Training and educating young people in the area of which we have expertise and long experience, we hope to provide our knowledge and mentoring and precepts to those areas of the country that we can benefit the very most. The youth still remains our future, and they still remain the future of service. To the veterans today, may you truly be blessed. Army strong. Thank you.